Hello, I'm Asif Farouk of Finextra, and we're here at EBA Day 2015 in Amsterdam. And today I'm with Mark Hartley, who's spearheading the PSD II initiatives at FIS. So Mark, thank you for joining me. Let's talk about this research that was produced in conjunction with Finextra and FIS, PSD II and Access to a Regulation or Opportunity. In this research, over 100 banks responded. What were some of the key findings?
The main key finding was around the issue of security and in particular strong authentication. 88% of the respondents said that their biggest concern about the regulation was security and particularly in this area of strong authentication. And then the second key finding, which is a follow-on from that, is the liability issue, so where the liability lies based on the strong authentication. And hopefully the European Banking Authority are going to address those two key concerns when they actually implement the solution around the PSD II.
It's interesting that you say that 88% of the respondents said that security was the issue. What does that say about the state of the industry?
Well, I think it's to do with this specific area where the access to account piece of the PSD II regulation is allowing, as the name suggests, other applications or other parties to have access to the customer's account held at the bank. And I think that's the key area of issue in terms of security. That's the area that the banks are worried about, that other parties will have access to that and therefore they need it to be robust and secure.
Okay, is this then a business issue or an IT issue?
Well, a lot of the banks are probably looking at it as an IT issue, but in our opinion, it's absolutely is a business issue, a business strategy. It's not just a question of the banks rolling out a couple of APIs with some documentation. It's about putting an infrastructure, a middleware, an education layer, a support layer, a marketing layer, and looking at new business models around this new world which will allow them to work and collaborate with different parties. So definitely not an IT strategy, fundamentally a business strategy.
And how would you suggest banks and institutions move forward with all of their legacy systems?
Well, interestingly enough, one of the clear responses in the survey was that 77% of the banks felt that their core legacy infrastructure was a real impediment to making this API banking story happen, and only 14% of them felt that they would be ready when the legislation came in. So whilst they have a desire to do this, there are clearly going to be some roadblocks and some tough projects for them to go through, given their concerns that they've expressed in the survey about their legacy infrastructure.
So PSD II is obviously a payments related regulation, but is there more to this story than just payments?
Yeah, again, the payment side of it is what's making the news, but there is also the side which is access to account information, so general data around the account. But interestingly enough, one of the great stats that came out of the research is that 65% of the respondents said that the PSD2 itself was a precursor to full-blown API banking. That means we're hopefully going to see collaboration with third-party application providers and the banks, and we're going to see the concept of an app store come to the fore, where banks will be distributing other organisations' applications, not manufacturing just their own products, but distributing other people's products in this app store concept. So it's absolutely much more than payments.